Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show, Monday Mindset Check episode. My name is Jeremy, and thank you for joining me. So today, gonna get into a topic that I've hit on one of my earlier episodes, and I can't remember exactly what I titled it, but basically, people need real leaders, and so that I've touched on a lot of the stuff I'm probably gonna to kind of address several times, but somebody that I've listened to quite a bit, a podcast that I've listened to is Craig Groeschel's Leadership Podcast, and his kind of motto is people would rather work for a leader who is real than a leader who's always right. And man, that's always it's really spoke to me a lot because everybody knows that person that they don't mess up. Well, they do, but they don't like showing their mess ups. They want to be the person that's always doing the good stuff, and they don't want you to see the bad human stuff that they do, the mess ups, the mistakes, and things like that. And so that really speaks to me because I know that I would rather work for the person that shows that they're human. They're not afraid to mess up, they're not afraid to share the times that they mess up, because they know that by sharing those times, they are helping the people around them, because hopefully they won't make the same mistakes. And so I just feel like that's very important. And I wanted to make sure I give credit to him for his quote, his motto, and all that, because I don't like stealing things, but at the same time, it means a lot to me, and it really it just speaks to the way I want to be a leader. And so that's where we'll kind of head towards this week, is just kind of judging where your leadership is. Are you somebody that's scared to make a mistake because you don't want people around you thinking that you messed up, or you made a mistake, or you aren't perfect? And if that is you, I want to challenge you to put that mindset away. Get out of that way of thinking, because first of all, the people that you're trying to impress, the people that you're trying to show that you're perfect to, they know better. So you're not fooling anybody. That's right out of the gate. Just it's not happening. So you might as well not even try it. So the next thing is, like I said, if you don't share these mistakes with people, you're robbing them of the opportunity to learn from something that before they even do it. So, yes, you made a mistake. Okay, that sucks. But you can either sit there and hide that mistake and benefit nobody, or you can share it and possibly benefit the people around you by learning from that mistake without having to make it themselves. And that's such a big thing. It's such a huge thing to do for the people around you. You know, it takes a lot of humility, and maybe that's where we need to start. If this is something difficult for us, is maybe we need to start with learning a little humility, because I don't think you can be a good leader. I don't even know if you should be a leader if you don't have a good grasp on humility. You have got to be humble to be able to keep learning, to be able to keep growing, to be able to mess up, and show others that it's okay to mess up, and that you can learn from my mistakes. And all these things are so important as a leader to have, and they're so important as a follower to be able to gain from their leader. And so I want to really challenge everybody out there to kind of measure yourself. Where are you at? And kind of figure out if this is an area that you need to grow. One thing I like to do, and it's not the most comfortable thing for me, but I like to show my mistakes on social media. Not because I enjoy making myself look stupid, like I said, it's not the most comfortable thing for me. I don't particularly enjoy doing it for the fact of just doing it. But I know that there's a lot of people out there that need to see that they aren't the only one messing up. You know, there's people that are in formal leadership positions that mess up. Everybody messes up. You know, it's just like the conversation that all of us have with our kids, I hope. And I've had this conversation a lot with our kids. Everybody messes up. The difference between when that turns from something okay to something that's not okay, don't take responsibility for those mistakes. You don't apologize for those mistakes if you need to. And for two, you don't learn from them. You know, that makes the two situations completely different. It turns a situation that is a mistake but is okay because, you know, we're going to get past it, we're going to learn, to a mistake that is really bad because we don't take responsibility for else to personally take responsibility for something. If that's not something I have to do, well, then I'm probably not going to learn as much from it because it didn't hurt as bad. Because when I take responsibility for something, when I apologize for something and own that, it hurts. And that hurt is what we use to grow. And that's what we use to learn from and hopefully not do it again. And so, you know, all of this ties in. If you're missing one of these pieces, then it's going to affect the rest of it. And so, like I said, I think it's a good topic to really judge where your leadership is. And going back to, you know, what I was talking about posting stuff on Instagram or whatever, you know, my mistakes. I think it's kind of looked at differently by different people. You know, some people think that I'm just down on myself all the time. Well, that's not the case. I'm pretty confident in my abilities. It's not that I don't think I can do good. So that's not the case. I think some people look at it like I'm just trying to fish for compliments because, well, I'll put this out there hoping that people will jump on and say, "Oh, you know, you're great," you know, this and that. Well, that's not the case either. And I promise you that is nowhere near my intent. I purely put these things out there so that people can see that, okay, these are where I messed up. So learn from my mistakes. Or, you know, I'm as a formal leader in a formal leadership position, and it's okay for me to mess up. So if that's the case, then it's okay for you firefighters underneath me to mess up. And that's another reason I kind of put myself out there in training scenarios and different things because I want to be that person that the people below me see doing it. So it's hard for them to say, man, how can I not do that because my leader is doing it? And you know, there's a lot of people that struggle in the fire service with the fear of messing up, the fear of making mistakes, the fear of, you know, looking stupid in front of people. And that's, you know, it's just being human. And so this is another way to reach those people and to challenge those people by saying, look, I'm messing up doing this stuff. So it's okay if you mess up. It's not anything that I'm going to hold against you. It's not anything that, you know, I'm going to feel any less respect for you for doing. I'm not going to lose any kind of confidence in you because you messed up. And that's another reason why I do it. There's so many reasons to be doing these things, that there's so much good that we can gain out of being real. I've been talking about training and techniques and skills and things like that, but you know, another whole area of this is just talking and talking about what's really going on. And I know there are some times that things are just private, and you don't talk about it, or things that you've been told by higher ups that you can't talk about. Okay, well, I get that. I'm not saying share every and anything and every secret, and there's a balance, and that's not what I mean. But I have worked for people that have completely held the truth back and put on this fake face. And okay, I kind of understand the mindset of these people. It's not like they're doing it deliberately to cause harm or to be negative in any way towards their followers, towards their subordinates, but you're not helping them either. I just think there's a lot you can gain through relationships by being real with your people. And my next episode, which I'm really looking forward to putting out there and sharing with you all, because another great guy that I have really found to just everything he says speaks to me. And I know there's a lot of people out there that feel the same way. But Benjamin Martin will be my next guest on the Thursday episode coming out. And you know, we talked a lot about this type of thing, about just kind of being a real leader. Talk a little bit about kind of complaining down, which is an area of my career that I'm trying to kind of gauge where the balance is, where it should be, and where I need to place it, because I think some of that is okay, because some of that, for one, is therapeutic for me, and I have a relationship with my crew that is good enough that I know it's a safe place for me to do that, and for them to accept it, and not just lose their handle, and just all the negatives that could come from it if you don't have that relationship. But that's part of our relationship. It's good enough that I have faith and confidence and trust in them, that it's okay to do that. But there is a balance. I needed to cut way back on it. I needed to really pay attention to what I'm saying. If there are things I need to get off my chest, and things that are really bugging me, then I will filter that and make sure I'm doing it in the best possible positive way I can. And once that's off my chest, I need to make sure it's over and we move on, and we get back into a positive light. But again, it all ties together. There's so many things that you can put the be real umbrella over, and it covers so many areas. And so we really need to be real as leaders. Our people, our followers, our firefighters, whatever you have below you, they don't need somebody that is just a company man and says everything's good, or we're going to do this because that's what we said, and we're just gonna make the best. Well, okay, some of that is having excuse me, some of that is having a good attitude, and focusing on the good, and all that. And as I was saying that, I realized that some of these things that I'm saying can be construed as differently from what I mean it. I don't mean have a bad attitude about things. I don't mean to buck the system and go against authority, and gripe about things that aren't the way we believe they should be. That's not what I mean. And I hope that you understand that's not what I mean. I just mean that there's a lot of leaders out there that just aren't honest with people. They're just they put up a false front. They withhold information just for the power that they feel like it gives them. Now, all of these things that I've talked about, you can gain so much growth in your leadership style, your leadership ability, your leadership skills, if you work on these things, and if you kind of see the benefits of what they will gain, what they will give, not only your crew, but you yourself, just as a person. And so I hope there's something there that you can kind of think about this week. This is something I constantly think about. This is something I feel like I have to maybe approach it from the opposite angle, and I need to make sure I'm not being too real. I don't have a problem being real. I don't have a problem telling the truth and showing mistakes, and maybe I need to get back a little bit. So that being said, maybe there's some people out there that are in that boat too. So either way, either side of the coin you're looking at, if you need to drop the mask and become more real of a leader, more real of a person, or if you're kind of like me and there are areas that you might have to kind of gate back and kind of withhold a little bit more. Not that that's bad, but sometimes it's okay to kind of gate back and judge the amount of stuff you share. So anyway, there's a lot there. This is probably several podcasts worth of stuff, and hopefully I'll kind of add this into a few conversations here coming up, just to kind of see what some other opinions are of my guest about the topic. And so anyway, I hope you have a great week. I hope that I brought something up that will give you a little bit of an area to think about, to discuss with others if you would like. That'd be great, to grow, to learn, and just get better. And so, as always, I want to thank you for your time. And until next time, stay safe and take care of each other. Thank you.